This video is sponsored by Raycon Earbuds and will begin right after a short message.
Hey guys, it's me, maskednintendobandit. I'm wearing this high-quality homemade mask because it's spooky month. But you know what's really spooky? Is not having quality wireless earbuds to jam out with. Well, I'm here to tell you that. This is the fix right here. No, this isn't a treasure chest. It's a charging case that holds up to 4 chargers without needing to be plugged in. But it does contain treasure inside. The Raycon Everyday E25 earbuds alone last up to 6 hours without needing a charge. With seamless Bluetooth pairing, all new re-engineered audio quality featuring more bass than ever, and a snug, noise-isolating fit so it doesn't fall out of your ears. They even come in all sorts of different colors, so even you can look as cool as me. Hold your applause. And they're only about half the cost of other premium wireless earbuds out there on the market. But what's better is if you go to www.buyraycon.com/MNB or click the link in the description below, you can get 15% off your order. So be sure to check out these bad boys today. And now, on to the video.
What a time to be a Zelda fan, am I right? For old fans and new fans alike, ever since the release of the widely beloved and hugely successful title Breath of the Wild, we can say with full confidence that we are indeed living in a new age for the Legend of Zelda. Also, it released over 3.5 years ago. Why am I so old? As we march through this much too eventful year and it nears its end, we have a couple more things in gaming to be excited about. And I'm not just talking about the Game Awards or Cyberpunk 2077, although I am very excited about that. I'm talking about the prequel to Breath of the Wild that's going to release the day after Cyberpunk. No joke, between these two games, I'm not sure I'm going to remember how to sleep or eat. But what this video is about is the fact that the anticipated release of the prequel to the biggest Zelda game to date could possibly change my mind about how I feel about Breath of the Wild. For those of you who aren't super veterans of my channel and haven't seen this video right here, by the way, seriously, this is not an ad for that video. Don't watch it. I mean that. It's super old and even more cringy than my current videos, if you can believe that. But anyway, I cover my opinions about Breath of the Wild in that video, and to say the least, it's not quite as rosy as one would think, coming from a channel that's been built on Breath of the Wild videos so far. But before I rub you too far the wrong way, let me briefly summarize my viewpoints from that video. I can still remember the immense amount of electric excitement like I had never felt before when I brought home my brand new Nintendo Switch with the brand new Zelda game ready to go. I had taken like 4 days off of work just to hole myself up in my room and do nothing but play Zelda. And those first several hours playing the game were some of the greatest moments I can remember from my lifetime of playing video games. It's no secret that the game holds a certain magic in the exploration of its wide and expansive world that even led to Nintendo claiming the Game of the Year award for its release in 2017. So as I was playing it, I definitely felt that magic and that sense of awe at the never before seen massive scope of just good old adventures to be had. But after I played the game for, maybe 10 hours or so, that's when I did myself and the game a disservice. Actually, a lot of fans did the same thing, even though it didn't really have to be done. I compared Breath of the Wild with my favorite Zelda titles from the past. When it came to exploration, clearly Breath of the Wild stood way up on its own tier, since no other Zelda title, or really other video game in general, had its world map size with a breakthrough innovation gaming mechanic called climbing any surface that gave the game a scary amount of verticality. The voice acting from main characters was also a surprising but very welcome feature that was brand new to Breath of the Wild. But every time I discovered a new memory from the past that would play a little mini-movie and help fill in some of the backstory to the game, I felt this longing in my Zelda fanatic heart growing slowly each time. I felt that the world and events and characters that were alive in those memories from so long ago were more interesting than the world I was able to explore instead. In fact, and I forget if I said this in my previous review video or not, but I actually began to tell my friends and others playing the game that I just wished we were able to go play through those memories instead of just watch cutscenes that were each a minute or two long. Don't get me wrong, Breath of the Wild's Hyrule is vast with varied climates, but it's barren, at least as opposed to the world alluded to in the cutscenes. That's when I began to really compare Breath of the Wild head to head to other Zelda games in ways other than just exploration. And that's when I began to ask questions like where the real dungeons were, or why I couldn't swim underwater, or why there were so many Trial of Strength shrines, or why I inexplicably felt like I shouldn't use any of my powerful weapons, like ever. And these comparisons, which turned into questions, soon turned into disappointments. And disappointments led to complaints. Because I kept remembering the enemies or dungeons or characters or music from past Zelda games. It's almost like I removed my ability to see Breath of the Wild for what it was really trying to be. And it's not like Breath of the Wild didn't have all of those, and some pretty good music too. It was just the first of its kind. A Zelda game leaning heavily on experience and less on storytelling. Not that it didn't have both, of course. The one thing I ended up saying at the end of it all was that I felt Breath of the Wild would be perfected if that one thing happened. If we were able to play through the events of 100 years ago. To me, that would have solved the captivating storytelling from previous Zelda games that I felt it was missing. When the DLCs were announced, I actually thought that that was what was going to happen, since we were delving into some never-before-seen stories with the champions back in the day. But again, it was just a few cutscenes and a nice wallpaper that every other Zelda fan used for like a year. Then 3 years passed, and Breath of the Wild remained one of my favorite games, but not my favorite Zelda. By the way, if you know what my favorite Zelda game is, comment it below, and the first few people that get it right, I'll heart their comments to let you know it was correct. But anyway, fast forward all the way to about a month ago, when a trailer dropped out of absolutely nowhere. A new Hyrule Warriors game was announced, but not just a regular old Hyrule Warriors game, a Breath of the Wild game too. A holy matrimony of sorts between the two franchises that promised to bring exactly what I felt that Breath of the Wild was missing all along. The backstory. The playable backstory that would create actual memories and actual relationships with the characters that actually matter to the story. Because let's face it, Breath of the Wild kinda drops the champion's descendants off the face of the earth after you use them to get to the real champions, even though they're just ghosts at this point. Now, my relationship with Hyrule Warriors is also not a rosy one. I know, I'm such a depressing person to listen to apparently. And my reasons for that viewpoint are actually kind of covered in my last video about my expectations for Age of Calamity, so I won't go into them too much here, but in summary, I just really don't like hack and slash games. Hey now, Zelda games are normally hack and puzzle. There's a big difference, thank you very much. But from the gameplay footage that I was able to tune into on my recent vacation, this game looks so much more like Breath of the Wild than it does Hyrule Warriors. It's going to have even more voice acting, a baby guardian, more cinematics, an adorable baby guardian, the same map but with different landmarks, more characters, some of which are old but young or new entirely, and most importantly, it will explain what exactly happened 100 years ago. Firsthand. It's also going to have a baby guard. This game, if done correctly, could change the way I feel about Breath of the Wild as a whole. We've never seen a direct prequel to a Zelda game featuring the same world and characters before, and I feel that because of this, they should be looped together as two parts of a whole since they're so closely connected. If this game delivers, then the Breath of the Wilds might be able to claim the spot at the top of my Zelda list that hasn't budged for decades. It might change my mind, and it might change yours too. But I suppose we will see either way in just a little over a month actually. In the meantime though, thank you so much for staying with me throughout this video essay of mine, kind of trying to generate some hype for the game. And for those of you who left likes or even subscribed to the channel, thank you so much. I look forward to discussing the game further with you when it releases, since you'll be sticking around. Also, huge thanks to my supporters. You all stuck with me even after my radio silence when I was on vacation, which was amazing by the way, thank you for asking. If you're interested in supporting the channel and helping the next video come to life, please feel free to check out that join button below, or the links in the description also below. There are some pretty cool benefits and discounts on merch that come with each tier, so huge thanks in advance for checking them out. Also down there are the links to my social media pages like Twitter and Insta, so hey, why not come on over and connect with me there as well. That way I never go radio silent. That's all I've got for this one, so do me a favor and try to have a wonderful rest of your day. Maybe catch another video of mine you haven't seen yet. I'll see you next time, but till then, this is Masked Nintendo Bandit signing out. Peace!